Hey, Jim Slick here, President and CEO of Slick Audio. Talk today. Welcome to my studio. This is my own personal studio. We've got a monster Slick Audio box in here, of course, an R4000, as well as a Mackie control surface and some Atom Audio speakers and a whole pile of goodies. More fun than you could possibly have in a day or a week or a month or who knows, let me see, a lifetime probably at this point, because that's what it seems like. Anyway, one of the things we're going to talk to you about today is audio interfaces and the different types of audio interfaces. There's obviously the most common FireWire USB. FireWire is really going by the wayside, and USB is gaining a lot of attention. USB 3, there's actually, Presonus just came out with a new device called Studio 192 that is actually the first USB 3 device. We're going to be testing that here in our studio soon. There's Dante interfaces like Focusrite's RedNet, which is what I run here. And which is absolutely amazing, by the way. If you're looking for zero latency or near zero latency, that's the stuff you really want to look at. There's AVB in the Mac world. There's, my goodness, Thunderbolt. And that's mostly in the Mac world. PC world has been really reluctant. It's kind of funny because that is actually an Intel proprietary protocol, and Apple bought into it with Intel, and they did a partnership, so they've created their own little consortium, if you will. And so even though there are interfaces out there that claim they will work on PC, there really aren't any truly supported PC Thunderbolt cards yet, and it looks like the industry is steering away from it in the PC world anyway. And I don't know whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, but regardless of the fact, it's still a very limiting technology in my opinion, just because the fact that you are limited to one or two connections, and that's it, you're done. If you look at something like Dante, specifically the RedNet setup like we have here, I literally could be recording our grand piano, a Yamaha C3 upstairs, and all through our existing Cat 6 cabling that's in the house. So there's so many more neat things, and of course it's again near instant as far as latency is concerned. So, and that's the other thing that we want to talk about, interfaces. There's a common misconception of performance and how well, like for example, a USB 2 device could do. The performance, it really is different than latency. In a USB 2 device, you could easily record and have a lot of fun and not spend a lot of money and be able to record a lot of things. What you're not going to hear is, or what you're going to have problems with, is latency. Latency is the time that it takes to get audio inside from your microphone, guitar, bass, what have you, inside the box, get it processed, and then get it back out again. So that's your latency. Think of it as the time to drive. So if you were driving from point A to point B and back again, you'll hear latency in, latency out, or round trip, which is the entire process, so audio in, audio out. That is really the biggest thing. A lot of pro guys, almost all pro guys, myself included, that's a big concern, because when I'm recording a guitar track, I don't want to be, listening to what's happening and playing, and 25 milliseconds later or 20 milliseconds later, it's just terrible. It's very difficult. However, it doesn't mean you can't record that way. You certainly can. It just depends on how you're going to be listening to it. And I'm going to touch on that a lot more in future video series. But for right now, I just wanted to get some overall concepts to you. So, again, latency, that's the round trip in and out. And then performance, general performance is, bottom line is USB 2, USB 3, Thunderbolt, Dante, AVB, I don't care what it is, it's all going to work and do the job quite well for you. You're not going to have any issues at all, whether you want to record 1 track, 10 tracks, 50 tracks, you'll have no problems whatsoever. Really, then it starts to get into the actual DAW hardware. And I'm going to call it quits for now, just because I'm getting long-winded about it. However, stay tuned. We're going to be doing definitely some more talks about latency, definitely some more talks about plugins and a whole pile of other stuff, and how latency affects those plugins, or how the plugins can affect latency. And stay tuned. Have fun.